Oh. First of all, I did not know it was the longest downhill section in the world, but I had nothing to compare it to. I mean, have you ever sat on a bicycle without pedaling for +3 hours going 60 miles an hour? So it's hard to put that into context, to be quite honest. Now that I've done it, I would think so fondly of it, and I'd like to go back and revisit it for sure.
Holy shit, mate. We are f***ing 14,500 feet? We're really high anyway, up in the mountains here in the Andes.
It was all a lot of uphill. At the side of the road, you see like what the next incline percentage, will it be 20%, 25, 30, like they're trying to warn trucks. And I remember like a lot of the locals just couldn't believe there was 5 gringos cycling up this hill. Because going up to the top of this mountain, there was nothing there, it was barren. Every hour that goes past, the altitude increases and the weather gets colder. And because I only had hand luggage, you want to stay light in the bicycle, I ended up wearing like nearly all of my clothes.
Hello, we're 5,000 above, hello, we're 5,000 meters above sea level at a glacier. It's pretty chilly up here and the air is pretty thin.
With the altitude, it was kind of playing tricks on my mind. My head's like starting to hurt. So we somehow managed to find some truckers' accommodation, stone walls, very cold inside, and double or triple blankets, like really thick, itchy blankets. And that night, my symptoms started to get a little bit worse. It felt like my brain was like pushing against my skull. I was like tapping Josh in the morning, and I was saying, Josh, I need to get off this mountain.
I want a rainbow.
It was beautiful, winding roads. There was even like a woman's house who sold tea and coffee, and she had the cutest little girl. I could notice my symptoms subsiding because I was starting to like smile and interact with the locals a little bit more and not being a big baby.
We're not pedaling, so our bodies aren't warm. And my hands just have no circulation.
Yeah, I keep putting my hand behind my back.
Yeah.
I keep alternating, yeah.
I was just doing pockets.
No money. I was about to trade my bread for some mate.
Yeah. Tell us about the dogs that you just passed.
Swerved the shit out of those dogs.
Did any of them bite you?
No. You don't get bit?
My pannier got chomped, yeah, the dog's hanging on.
Oh, I remember those dogs. These dogs had a big attitude, but they were small things. You'd see them kind of like sleeping on each corner, and that's their corner, so to speak. So you kind of have to slow down for the dog trying to intercept you, but not too much though that he wins. So you had to keep enough speed on so you could kind of escape the dogs. It was just so liberating to get off those pedals and just let the bike do its work for you. You had like a small speed gauge that could track my maximum speed, and I think that's the fastest I've ever been on a bicycle. I think it was like 72 or 73 kilometers an hour. We were going so fast actually we would overtake trucks because they would have to brake so heavily, which is quite an exciting sensation because usually you're getting taken over by traffic. As we continued down the hill, we kind of zipped by each other and kind of daredevil each other a little bit, get close and then zip ahead. We had this kind of sign that we'd do throughout the trip, and it was kind of like, it was like almost like you're pulling a train horn or something, but it didn't really make much sense, and we'd call it fist pumping. So quite often, if you're having a good time, you'd bring everyone up and by fist pumping all the way.
All the way.
As we continued down to the mountain, the weather started to warm up and the layers started to come off and the morale started to pick up for sure. Once we got down to the bottom, we couldn't believe how much ground we covered. There was kind of like banana plantations around us at the bottom, and at the top it was rock and ice, so it was such a contrast. We had this headwind and we did like an Andean formation, like just kept close together as a pack. One of us would take turns taking the brunt of the wind. And if you saw a tractor on the bike trip, I mean the tractor goes about 20 to 28 miles an hour. 28 miles an hour on a bicycle is a good clip. So if you can tuck in behind the tractor, so it would be like balls to the wall, trying to catch up and get in that airstream. We all couldn't believe we did all that downhill in one day. The wind on your face when you're going downhill, your eyes watering from going downhill, but you're just loving it the whole time. You can't smile so much because your teeth get cold, you know? It's a great place to be and a great predicament to have.